We use thousands of words every single day, right? But have you ever stopped to think about the secret lives some of those words are leading? It turns out some of the most basic everyday words in our vocabulary, well, they're hiding some of the most fascinating stories.
So let me ask you something. How many different jobs can one single word actually do? How many different hats can it possibly wear? Let's put it to the test. Let's take a really common word. How about snake?
Okay, so first up, the one we all know, the classic. You see a long, slithery thing in the yard. Yep, that's a snake. It's simple, it's straightforward, no surprises here. Or are there? And bam, just like that, it's not an animal anymore. Now it's a feeling. It's a metaphor for betrayal, right? That gut punch you feel when someone you trust wrongs you. It's the same 5 letters, but it means something completely different, something so human. But wait, it doesn't stop there.
And here is the total curveball. A snake is also a tool, a plumber's friend you use to fix a clogged drain. So think about that. We went from a reptile to a traitor to a tool. 3 totally separate things, all captured by one little word. Now that is some serious versatility.
So we've already seen how it can be 3 different things. But our word snake has another trick up its sleeve. It can actually change its entire job description, its whole grammatical function. Let's take a look at how it wears these 2 very different hats. And right here, you can see the 2 sides of snake perfectly. See, on one hand, as a noun, it's always a thing, an animal, a person, or that plumbing tool. But then it can completely transform and become an action. Suddenly, it's not a thing anymore, it's the way something moves. And this is where it gets really cool, because that one little root word, it becomes the foundation for a whole family of ideas. I mean, think about it. Snakebite, snake oil, snake-like. Each one of these carries a little piece of that original meaning. It's like a single seed that's grown into this whole complex tree of related concepts. And all this flexibility, it's really impressive, but believe it or not, it's not an accident. We've been looking at this one word kind of in a vacuum. But what if I told you that all this amazing versatility is actually the key to why snake was chosen to be part of a much bigger and, frankly, revolutionary system of language? Okay, this is where things get really, really interesting. Because hidden in plain sight, right there in the dictionary entry for snake, is a clue that changes pretty much everything we thought we knew about this word. Now, it's super easy to miss. You could scan right past it 100 times. But it's there. A single, short sentence that unlocks this whole new level of understanding about why some words get picked for special jobs and others don't. There it is. Snake is on the Basic English 850 list. Now, that might sound like a random piece of trivia, but it's not. This one fact tells us that our word snake is special. It's been deliberately selected. It's part of an exclusive club. And the most important part of that sentence is the number, 850. This isn't just some random number pulled out of a hat. No, it's the carefully chosen, exact number of words that form the core of an entire system, a system designed for a very specific purpose. And that system is called Basic English. It's essentially a streamlined version of the language. It was created with this huge goal in mind, to be easy to learn and understand for anyone, anywhere in the world. The whole idea is that with a small but really powerful set of words, you can say almost anything you need to. So the big question is, how does a word like snake become such a powerhouse in a system like Basic English? Well, its power comes from that very same versatility we were just talking about. Just take this example. By using snakes as a verb, you get this incredibly vivid picture in your head, right? The sentence doesn't need fancier words like meanders or winds or twists. Nope, the one word snakes does all of that heavy lifting. It paints a clear image with maximum efficiency. Or look at this. Calling someone a snake is just so much more direct, more impactful than saying they're a traitor or a scoundrel. It packs this emotional punch that pretty much everyone everywhere can understand. And that right there is the genius of Basic English. And this chart just lays it all out. You can really see the power here. One simple word, snake, can stand for a whole list of more specific, more complex words. Every single word on that 850 list was chosen for this exact reason, for its ability to do the job of many others. It's all about getting maximum meaning out of a minimum vocabulary. So the real strength of a system like Basic English isn't just that it has few words. It's that it has the right words. Words like snake are chosen because they're flexible, they're powerful, and they can be stretched to cover a huge range of ideas. They really are the essential building blocks for clear communication. And really, all of this leads us to a much bigger idea about how we communicate in general. The story of this one word, snake, and its role in basic English, it gives us a whole new way to look at our own language. I mean, think about the journey we just took, right? We started with one simple word, snake. We peeled back its layers, found all these different meanings. That led us to this huge system, basic English. And then, ultimately, to a really powerful conclusion. Simplicity isn't a limitation, it's a strength. Which leaves us with one last thing to think about. We tend to assume that having a bigger vocabulary is always better, that more words means better communication. But the story of basic English and the humble power of a word like snake really forces us to ask, is more language always better? Or could it be that true clarity is sometimes found in saying more with less?